All right, everybody. We've been waiting for this fight for 6 months at least. All right, they were supposed to fight before, and they got postponed for whatever reasons. I think Fundora got injured. All right, and this is going to be an interesting fight. So this is Sebastian Fundora and Kieth Thurman, and Fundora is like 6'9" or something, just like crazy, Nephilim tall, right? and Keith Thurman, he ain't no joke. Right? I wouldn't say he's the hardest puncher, but he knows how to, get the job done. He's got some skill. All right. Now, Fundora stopped Tim Tszyu in his last fight, and it was the rematch. And Tim Tszyu was game. He was right there from that, but that was the problem. This guy, Fundora, can fight inside. Okay. You don't ever want to stand right in front of him. And, Keith Thurman, if you're a smart fighter, this is obvious. So what do? You work on, and you once you get in, when you get close to this guy, you got to stay close. But that's a conundrum because inside he can fight. He can hurt you. He hurt Tim Tszyu on the inside, eating him up with uppercuts. Okay, you gotta turn angles. Okay, there's, fighters that like to fight outside. They shoot in, come out a different direction, and you see a flash, and then they're not there anymore. And then you see the flash this way. Then they keep you going like that, right? But you don't want to do that with this guy. You don't want to once you're inside, you don't want to get back outside. You want to stay right there, and you want to turn on him, but you don't want to stay in that kill zone right in front of him. Okay. And he's one of those guys that knows how to do it. Now, I saw some video. Keith Thurman has a small heavy bag hung high in his training area, and he's way up high. So he's been training to make them high shots, right? It's going to be an interesting fight because Keith will put out, Fundora puts out. This is going to be an exciting fight for as long as it lasts. I'm going to Bombshells after this. Okay, it's down the road. It's I'm home all alone right now, so I'm just gonna go over there. I always meet new people, get some marketing done. While I'm over there, that's part of what we're talking about here is World Trident Boxing Association. I'm in the process right now working on converting that website to host a fantasy league for boxing. And that's where fans can pick who they want to see fight. And if they do fight, they can come on and, they can blog about it and all that. Right. So and then fighters can come on and set up a profile, and we will help them promote themselves. We'll help them market them. And this is going to be a benefit to them to come on to the website and set up their own profile, and they can promote themselves. Right. They can link their own site, their own YouTube channel, whatever. Right. But that's what we're going to turn the World Trident Boxing Association website into. So that's what we're working on. And see if anybody else comes on here. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, the World Trident Boxing Association YouTube channel. So and then I think Moses Itama is fighting tonight, and this guy he's fighting is supposed to be tough. So this is good. This could be good. I think that's the co-main event. So that makes it even more interesting, right? Having that as the co-main event. This they've been claiming that this Moses Itama is the next Mike Tyson, right? And he's only ever fought one guy that had a name. Okay. So what was his name? He fought um, the Gypsy King, um, Tyson Fury, right, and got stopped with an uppercut. It was a funky looking uppercut too, right? it was it was very interesting. He got set up with it good. Um, and so I'm expecting to be a good card, right? Um, it's the main event doesn't start till 10 o'clock. I got a little bit of time to get over there and get a seat, order some chips and guacamole, and just nurse it all night and watch the fights and get to meet some new people. They YouTube, all over YouTube right now. There's it's all the podcasters are just talking about this fight, right? This has been and Keith Thurman has carried the promotion. Yeah, you haven't heard hardly anything from Fundorea. Keith Thurman has been putting it. He's the one promoting it. If they're going to make money, they're going to get viewership, and Fundorea, win or lose, need to be thanking Keith Thurman, because Keith Thurman. That's one of the biggest problems with boxing today. Is the fighters just don't know how to promote themselves. They probably train hard and they fight hard. They work on their technique and everything, but nobody knows who they are. When what's his name? Fought Canelo. Doggone it. See, to prove my point. Terrence Crawford, when he fought Canelo and beat Canelo, people were like, who's Keith Thurman, or who's Terrence Crawford? They didn't even know who he was. Now I knew who he was because he fought Errol Spence, and Errol Spence is from Dallas. And I used to live in Dallas. I remember Errol Spence fought on an HBO card. Roy was the Roy was the commentator there. That's why I went, and I was living just down the road. But that's when I saw Errol Spence fighting, and so that's why I knew who he was, right? But a black fighter coming out of Nebraska. Who knew, right? Nobody even knew, right? And they had fighters in Nebraska. So I wonder if he knew. What's the guy's name? Man, made his money in investing. It'll come to me. The Berkshire Hathaway guy. If they know each other, I bet they do. Wouldn't that be something if that was one of his fans? I think Crawford's going to come out of retirement sometime. Fighting. I don't know who he's going to fight. Somebody's going to call him out hard. Somebody's going to call him out real strong. But and you just have to do that. It's not like it used to be. It's going to come back around. It's going to come back around where there's going to be more fights. There's more fights going on now than there's ever been, but they're not getting seen, right? So you got show things like fast channels, but they're showing these like bare knuckle fights, and that's just hard to watch, man. Those guys are, man, they may as well open up the Coliseum again. That's crazy. But this fight tonight's going to be good. If Keith Thurman can fight the right strategy, and mostly it's going to be controlling Fundorea's head. If he can get his head up, keep it popping and turning, so he can't really see him, Keith's going to have a good night. And when you do that to somebody, it's an easier night for you because you're not getting hit as much. Okay, and if you can turn them angles and get him, so he's looking at where you were. He's looking at Nothing in. You're catching him from the flank. That will do it for Keith Thurman. If Keith Thurman doesn't do it tonight, Keith Thurman's done. It's going to be over. All right, but it's going to be. I just saw Roy Jones and doggone it, he was ended up undefeated, retired undefeated. Man, I got to get back into this more. It'll come to me. He won a gold medal. Light heavyweight and super middleweight and light heavyweight champ. All right. Well, it doesn't look like we're gonna get anybody on here to talk to. We'll fix that for next time. But this fight, I was gonna get Dick Liberty on, and we've been talking about this fight for a bit, but he's busy doing his side gig, right? And I was hoping to get him on. I enjoy bantering with him, about the fights because he knows a little bit about fighting. He's more of a mixed martial arts person, but he knows a little bit about boxing. And so, anyways, we'll see if any of you show up at Bombshells. Let me know that you saw the podcast. All right. I'm the advantages for Fundorea, but Keith Thurman, you can't count him out. He's a smart fighter. He's got talent. He's got skills. He's got power. He's got speed. He's got a winner mindset. And if he can fight the right strategy, he's going to have a good night. All right. Well, that's going to be it. I'll talk about this later.